Rodira. As I've been using her, you can see she's currently level 50, and she's actually becoming one of my favorite heroes. Hello everybody, my name is BearCozy, and today we're playing some more Awaken Chaos Era. If it's your first time here, I strive to not only make entertaining, but also educational content. My videos are real, and I like to show not only my progress, but my struggles. The fun for me is in the progress and progression. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Yesterday, we did a successful multi-run, many successful multi-runs actually. Some have been recorded, some were off camera. I talked about my team, and this is going to be part 2, which is going to be a follow-up to that video. I'm going to be making some commentary as well as some of the things that I have recently noticed and I found interesting as we run through Queen of Tides together. Here has been my comp, and I originally started by using Hakrin, Zatlux, Gangelo, and Rodira. I know not everybody has Gangelo, but you can use, there are other poisoners that you can use. Some of them are from the fusion like Santis. Some of them you can actually pull like Valak, and he's very, very easy to get. Not only to get, but also ascend, because there are typically very many copies of him. As you can see, mine is not built yet. There he is. I have not built him because I pulled Gangelo early. If I did not, I would be using him alongside Santis. So right now, Valak is out and Gangelo is in. Previously, I was running Hakrin. I have been experimenting with William for not only that counterattack, but also for the joint attack from the allies. Right now, Hakrin is working the best, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Going into it, Hakrin is gonna use his ultimate, do the max HP, of course, and then Zatlux is here to clean up the waves. He's gonna do just that. He seems like he's doing just fine there. Of course, we have Gangelo as the main poisoner on the queen, and then Rodira's here to keep us alive. So there goes Zatlux. He's going to do his thing and clean up the waves, and we're going to go right to the boss. So I have been recording on the laptop, and there's a couple of things I noticed that I want to talk about. The first one is actually not too significant, but I noticed that on the laptop it runs a little bit slower, and the runtime was actually over 5 minutes. On my main computer where I do my editing and I do my multi-runs and my gaming, that actually runs just over 3 minutes. I took a couple of screenshots. I did a few multi-runs, and I'm gonna post those up on the screen. So 3 minutes right now is not too bad. I believe it's a little bit over, closer to 3.5. So it's not too bad, but on the laptop, which is where I'm recording now, they are about 5 minutes. We'll have to see how the average time looks here. So I have been going off camera, and I've actually been doing lots of multi-runs and doing some testing and some experimentation. Right now, I don't have enough heroes to be able to test a lot of different ones as I would like, and that's something that I would like to do in the future, and I do need to acquire them. So hopefully in the future, as I acquire different heroes, I can do some more testing with different comps and see the synergy and the runtime and see how they do. What I have done off camera is I actually put Gangelo, I believe it's the curse set that gives you 35% extra chance to use your basic ability to attack. So it just gives him 35% chance to attack with his basic. I would have to double check if that's the curse set. I believe it is. If I'm wrong, I apologize. There he goes with that bonus attack right there. So he did land 2 poisons. That's something that I've been working on, and I wanted to experiment to see if my runtime would go up. There he goes again with that bonus attack. So he just took 2 attacks there. And this is a little bit of RNG. Sometimes they proc back to back. Sometimes they don't proc for a little while. But what I noticed was Gangelo actually does stack his poisons a lot quicker. And that actually helps with the runtime, of course, as you can imagine. So that has been helping. I would like to do some more testing after I get some better gear. I leveled up a little bit of his gear. You can see the poison doing a ton of damage there. So his gear is a little bit leveled up. I gave Rodira a little bit more HP. I can go over all of their stats at the end if you are interested. So Gangelo is doing good. The one thing that I know is that poisons do not scale from attack. but they do a ton of damage to the boss. As you could see, when she takes her turn, you could see all the poisons come off. There they go, and that was only 2. Sometimes we get 4, 5. So this is actually really good. Hey, you're still watching the video. That means you're enjoying the content. And if you're enjoying the content, that means somebody else will also. Click the subscribe button below and help this video reach more people so they can enjoy it as well. And if we get any procs from his basic ability from that gear set, that is going to mean more poisons on her. And she will go down very, very quickly. So the actual boss is going down fairly decently now. And the longest part of it is just getting the ads down. And that, of course, is going to go down as Zatlux gets stronger, as his gear gets leveled up, and as he gets more attack and more crit damage. Queen of Tides going in with the massive AoE, but we should be okay because we do have a lot of HP. And actually, so a couple of things I wanted to comment on here as this is running. The first thing was, as I mentioned briefly, Gangelo is actually in a curse set for that additional chance to proc his basic, which lands poisons, meaning that he can stack a lot more poisons. So that is helping right now, not only to speed up the run, but also get the mobs down and the boss down and kill the enemy a little bit quicker, because he does stack a lot more poisons, and poisons actually scale off max HP, which is nice, which means in harder difficulties, they will do a lot more damage. Now I just need to work on survivability and surviving stage 10. So as you can see, as I've said, Gangelo is actually in a curse set. I do actually have a pair of cursed boots here. After attacking, there's a 35% chance to launch a bonus attack using this character's basic ability. It is a 4-piece set, and that is what Gangelo is wearing right now. And of course, Gangelo's basic ability lands poisons, so that helps a lot. The other thing I wanted to comment on is the Queen of Tides does this water prison here on the hero that has the most attack, and right now that is my Zatlux. So she puts up the prison stun on Zatlux, locking him out completely, which is okay. That is what Zatlux is there for. However, in the last video, I said that Rodira was not too good, and I was not very happy with her. I was hoping for a better healer. Rodira may not be the best healer in the game, but her special does actually not only heal, but also takes that debuff right off. So her special will take the water stun off, and she will actually heal one hero. Right now, they seem to be out of sync where she is not cleansing. I have noticed, as I was doing a lot of runs off camera, that if they do sync up, and of course I run this completely on auto because I don't want to manual any of it, but if it happens to sync up, she will actually cleanse the water prison off of Zatlux, and he will take his turn. And not only does her special cleanse, it also heals. I will try to get a clip of her cleansing it. Going into battle 3 on the Queen, I wish these things were skippable. I keep clicking off skip animations, and they seem to come back every time I get an update. So going into battle 3, as you can see, the team is doing just fine. I am targeting the crab on the right since he does have the joint attack on him. Queen's going to do her AoE. I'm hoping that Rodira will save her cleanse for the water prison. Let's see how this goes. Gangelo's going to come in with his ultimate and put poisons up on everybody, and Hackerin is going to taunt. I did give him a little bit of focus. I'm hoping for that taunt to land. However, I don't think it works very well because the crabs do AoE damage. So there's the water prison going up. Let's see what we can do here. Zatlux is actually a little bit faster than Rodira, so he actually skips his turn. So what I might have to do going forward is make Rodira a little bit faster again so she can actually cleanse. I did update some of their gear, and apparently Rodira is out of sync now with, there she goes. She actually cleansed it. I thought she was out of sync, but she actually cleansed the water prison debuff from the Queen, which is really nice, allowing Zatlux to take his turn, thus doing more damage. So at this point in time, Rodira has actually grown on me quite a bit. I did not realize that she was going to be as useful as she is. On her basic ability, she does have 80% chance to land attack down, which is helping a lot. And then her special actually will cleanse a debuff off of one hero on your team and heal them. However, she just used it on Gangelo, and that is unfortunate because now she doesn't have it available to use it on Zatlux. But it is on a one-turn cooldown, so she is going to have it available maybe before Zatlux goes, and she can take the stun off of him. So that is primarily what I'm really liking about her. There she goes again. She cleansed the stun off of him, allowing him to take his turn, and that actually worked out really, really good. So I was hoping to get a clip of this. Sometimes they seem to be out of sync, and sometimes they run in sync. So that is actually working really nice. I did give her a little bit more HP and a little bit more defense to make her a little tankier. My hope going from here is to replace Hakrin with Santis. That will allow us a lot more poisons and to do more damage. I am thinking I'm going to keep Rodira, and I'm probably going to take her to 60, but not until I fuse and level Santis. So as you can see, she's doing really well in the heals. The healing does scale really, really well with Hakrin's ultimate ability, which increases HP. Now, not only does her healing scale really well, but also the spell that you get to pick when you make your team. And whoever casts that, at this point, usually Gangelo casts it, just because that's the way it turns out. But usually when Gangelo casts the heal over time, there it goes. That actually does scale as well with the increased max HP, so our team is a lot more survivable. So the other thing, I've talked about Gangelo, going through talking about some of the changes that I'm noticing and some of the things that I like. I've talked about Gangelo being in a curse set. Of course, the curse set gives him a 35% chance to launch a bonus attack using this character's basic ability. I've talked about Rodira and her cleanse, which is really good, and I'm really liking her. The other thing that I'm noticing is on the Queen of Tides, I don't know if you know this, I just figured this out, just kind of noticed it. The debuffs show, well, she's down. Let's go to the next one, and I'll talk about it on the next one. There goes Gangelo with the bonus attack, and he does stack a lot of poisons. So what I have been noticing on the debuff bar is a lot of times this debuff, if you scroll it, it will actually show you a lot more here than what's on the actual screen. Right now, there's only 3 poisons, which are going to come off when she takes her turn. But I have noticed this only displays up to 5 buffs and debuffs. So it only displays up to 5 slots here, right? And a buff and 1 debuff each take up 1 slot. But if you click on the information, as you can see, I can actually scroll it. And as they stack poisons, there will be a lot more here. And that, of course, kind of depends on how many turns. There goes another bonus attack. See, we could see there's only 5 here, but if I click on the info, you could see there's a lot more now. So that is kind of neat. I don't know how many it stacks up to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the most that I've seen. I'm assuming it stacks up to 10, but as I get another poisoner, I'll be able to confirm. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here after this run, and I will see you back after the multi-run ends. Okay, the 10 multi-run is over. Let's take a look at our gear, shall we? I am on the laptop, so it is a little bit slower than usual. On the PC, it's about 3.5 minutes, just under 3.5 minutes. It is faster. I have made some improvements, and I did actually put Gangelo in a curse set, which has been helping a lot. And on the laptop, we actually gained about 45 seconds per run. So it's still a little bit slower. I am using LD player, and I'm still unable to unlock the frame rate. So if it was running faster frame rate, the runs would be faster, but they are 100%. As you can see, I got a bunch of 5-star gear. I'd have to go through and take a look. Unfortunately, these 5-star boots are flat health, so those are going to be going right in the bin. Going to the heroes and looking at my team, of course, you know I'm using Gangelo, Zatlux, Hakrin, and Rodira. I want to look at their gear because I think showing their stats and their gear is important. I do plan on trying different heroes out, and I've been really wanting to experiment with some other heroes. Right now, I don't have the resources to get and level more heroes. I just recently pulled Silent as a random YOLO off camera. I actually YOLO'd a shard. There she went. She is an epic. Her kit looks very, very interesting. She does have a defense up and a defense down, which is really, really nice. And of course, if you look at her trait basically reduces the incoming damage by 35%, which is amazing. She is a hero that I really want to try in the comp, maybe instead of Hakron, see how she does, and maybe we can provide not only the defense up, but also the defense down, and that would help. And of course, with 35% of the damage being mitigated, will give the team a lot more survivability, and maybe I can take out Hakron. So I have been getting lots of requests on different heroes for me to try, and right now I just don't have the resources to build them all. So what I'm going to do is, in the near future, I am going to set up a PayPal account. If that's something you're interested in seeing, go ahead and throw me a few bucks to my PayPal. That way I can acquire different heroes and I can test them and I can give you feedback. So without further ado, let's go back and look at Gangelo and look at his gear. Now, looking at his stats, you could see that his health is almost 14,000. His speed is pretty slow, as he doesn't really need to go that fast. I don't know at this point if 120 is too slow, but that's where he is right now. And of course, he doesn't really need attack, as the poisons don't scale from attack. The crit rate would help if I had 100% crit rate, which I do not. I was primarily focusing on getting him more focus, which is essentially accuracy, so he can land his poisons. Now, looking at his gear, you could see that right now he is in a cursed set, which is a 4-piece bonus, or I should say 4-piece set, and a raptor set to give him some more focus, and he's almost at 90% focus, and of course most of his gear is not leveled up. If I level the pendant up, that should probably max him out on focus, but right now this is where he is. He's got a 5-star staff with, unfortunately, rolled attack, but it also rolled focus, so that's actually really good. I'm keeping it. His boots are health boots percentage, which you want to keep an eye on. What you don't want is flat stats at all on your boots, unless it's speed, so that is okay. And of course, the chest only comes in a flat defense, and that's fine. And the headpiece only comes as health. So as you can see, unfortunately, I got 2 flat defense rolls on that. That's not ideal, but right now, that's the best piece I have for him, and that's what I'm using. Going over to Zatlux, I know you guys like looking at stats. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a better breakdown. I try to break this down as best I can, and I try to do it very frequently, as I know not all of you will catch every single video. So looking at Zatlux, I just upgraded him over 3,000 attack. He's at 128 speed, and as I get him more ascensions, he will actually gain more speed as we go. Right now he's at 128 speed. His crit rate is at 72, and that is actually not displaying correctly with his passive. His crit damage is just over 200%, so I would like to get that up. And of course, his passive actually does give him plus 30% crit rate, but it's only displaying as 10. So 72, you have to add the 20, and I'm at 92. So I'm still shy of 100, but it's working right now. Looking at his gear, he is in a Rage set, which is a 4-piece bonus, and he is in a Warrior set. However, I did put him in attack percent boots, and I actually probably need to level those. So these are actually not too bad. I did get 1 roll on crit damage, which was nice, and 1 roll on defense. That is not ideal, but that will actually give him a little bit more survivability. So they are 5-star. All of his pieces are 5-star except for the Warrior Chain. And I actually got this 6-star piece from the bartender with gold. So keep an eye on that. That was a really good find. And as you could see, we rolled speed, and then we roll a couple of other flat stats. Not the best, but the 6-star attack percentage will actually help a lot. Moving on to Hakron. Hakron right now is in a Vanguard set, 2 Vanguard sets, and 1 Raider set. He is wearing health boots to give him more survivability, and I actually put him in a Raider set because he was going last, and the idea is to stack his ultimate, which is the increased max health. So looking at his info really quickly, he is just over 13,000 health, 142 speed. I did give him a little bit of focus for that taunt, not that this is going to matter in the Queen of Tides, and the rest of the stats you could see here. So he is currently the fastest champ in my lineup, I believe. Rodira, as I've been using her, you could see she's currently level 50, and she's actually becoming one of my favorite heroes, and I'm really liking her. She's not the best. Looking at her stats, you could see that her stats are C and B tier, which of course is not the best, but she's also an elite, which means she's easy to get, easy to ascend, and easy to max out on skills. So looking at her info, she's just over 12,000 health. She's at 137 speed, and her defense is very, very low, but she is level 50 and she does need some work. And she's actually been working really good. I'm really liking this Oasis Embrace, which is her special. It heals the caster and one ally, and it actually removes all negative effects from the ally. And of course, she targets Zatlux when he does have the water prison on. So that has been really good, allowing Zatlux to go again and deal more damage. Looking at her gear, she is in 3 Terra sets, and you could see her gear needs a lot of work. Gear is taking me some time to not only acquire, but also to level. And right now, I did improve some of my other heroes. So I'm going to be working on her next, and I'm probably going to be taking her to 60 whenever I have more resources. So that is it. There's my gear. Going forward, I think I would like to try out a couple of different heroes. One of them being Valak. I want to see how he does versus Gangulo, or in addition to Gangulo. Valak is actually a poisoner. All of his skills have poisons on them. And of course, Gangulo's traits increases damage taken from poisons. So that's going to work well together. The other hero I want to try is Santos, which I have not fused. And of course, the last one is here somewhere. There she is. Silent is the last one that I want to try. I don't have resources to build all these heroes and acquire more heroes. So as I've mentioned, I am going to be setting up a PayPal in the near future. If that's something that you want to support, and if that's something you want to see, if you want to see me try out different heroes and different comps with different synergies to give you better options for heroes you could use, go ahead and throw me a few bucks and I will be very grateful. And that will help me not only acquire, but also build these awesome looking heroes. So that's going to do it for me. I'm going to cut it here. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next video.